How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have gamblers with us tonight. They can say their names and what they do in the band.
I'm Johnny. I play
What's up?
drums.
That was
I'm,
Johnny. He plays drums. That was Mike. He sings. Sorry. And I'm Jimmy, and I play guitar. I just stepped over everyone's intro. Hi.
That was great. I don't think you guys could have timed it out any better. That was it felt so premeditated, So love to see it. You gotta respect the internet. But anyway, wanted to give a shout out to Big Picture Media. They always have sent me fantastic bands over my 8-year tenure here on YouTube. So continue to send me some great bands. I always love to see it. But I wanted to know, guys, since I'm a huge nerd. You'll probably come to find that out as we go on this interview journey. But I always love to know when bands start out, how they get together, the origin story of groups. I might probably be in the small minority of people that just have a really interesting fixation on that. But I wanted to know how you guys kind of came together. Feel free to spare all the details you would like. I don't do anything else with my life here, so you can take up all my time.
Well, Johnny and I grew up together in the same town on Long Island, and we've actually been friends for, I don't even know, like 26, 27, 28 years or something crazy like that. And we even had a little pretend fake band when we were in third grade. And then we started playing together in actual bands in high school and college, and we did some traveling together. And then years later, we formed this band Gamblers, which originally formed from as a side project from another group I was in, and I was touring with this group called Vision Through Sound at the time. I was playing drums, and the guitar player of that band, we kind of hit it off, and we're like, oh, let's do a side project, and it ended up, I wasn't drumming in that side project. I was singing and writing songs, and that kind of developed, and we put a band together, and eventually that band became Gamblers. We ended up going our separate ways, me and the original guy who I started the band with, and it kind of broke apart as a band with the original lineup. But I decided I wanted to keep going and releasing music as Gamblers, because by that time it had kind of morphed more into my project, and I was the most passionate about keeping it going anyway. So then I kind of just kept the name, and I started working with the production team on Long Island, writing songs and demoing and recording. And I had tried to get Jimmy in the band a couple of years prior when we were looking for a second guitar player, but he wasn't available at the time. And then this time around, when I was putting the band back together, he luckily enough for us was available, and he joined what I had started in this with these studio musicians, and then we just started demoing and kind of becoming a new band again. Johnny was originally in that first portion of the band, and then he ended up coming back, and then the last few years it's really been the three of us kind of as the focal point of the band in terms of writing and the business side, I guess you could say. When we play live, we do have more people with us, usually anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 extra musicians. Right now we're operating as a 5-piece, but that's kind of the origin story. But I think everything that we went through was for a reason, because the mix of personalities between the three of us, I think, is perfect now. We have just the right amount of taking it seriously, but not taking it too seriously.
As I'm sure you could tell.
No, could not. No, would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
Didn't even cross my mind, honestly.
Is this not the perfect Zoom interview, or
This is
what?
great. Yeah, this is
Okay.
This is
All
peak, honestly. I don't think I'll get a better one this year. You can try, guys, but it's not. It's just not gonna
We'll
happen.
break our own record.
You come back on again, yeah, and then you'll be like, "Listen, we beat Gamblers 1, so we can do it. We're here."
Congratulations.
I'll have a confetti gun ready for the next interview. I'll shoot it off in the middle of the interview. And then for Jimmy and Johnny, how did you guys feel when Mike approached you about, joining the project, kind of, bringing new life into the group again? I'd assume you guys had been in prior works on your own or with other projects. So how was it kind of, I guess, getting back into the fold a little bit?
Yeah, I was the time when these guys were doing like Vision Through Sound and having their bands. I was doing a band called Edison Glass that we played the fuck out of Long Island and into like the the emo hardcore scene blow up that was
Nice.
happening at the time. It was craziness, and there was endless shows, and they were all packed out and fun. And then went on the road with them and did some records with them. But I came home to Long Island and was just playing in a bunch of bands just to keep playing and writing.
Sure.
I couldn't stop, even though I wasn't really doing it as a career anymore. And so I met Mike and Johnny both during this time, just kind of playing around a lot of Long Island bands. And yeah, I was stoked when Mike told me he was working with Mike and Nick Ruffalo from the Brothers Nylon, writing some new tunes, and they had just gotten started. So it was like, cool, I can get sort of in on the ground level and make a record with these dudes. I was stoked. But yeah, I met Johnny and Mike both through different bands, just playing around. And we sort of kept in touch. I had Mike on my podcast about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Nice.
And yeah, promoting great gamblers, funny enough. But yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Worked out, I guess, Johnny, what about you?
I don't know how to answer that. I've been playing with Mike my entire life. He's never asked me. It's just we always play together.
You just knew. Yeah. It's an unspoken rule,
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it worked
Easy.
out. You guys stuck it out, I'm glad you did, because
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Pulverizer. As I mentioned to the guys before this, I had not checked out Gamblers prior to this, and I'm kind of trying to branch my horizons every year. I always try to delve into a new genre of music that I'm not familiar with. And indie pop I'm like kind of familiar with, but it kind of goes in waves. And when I got approached to have you guys on, I was like, all right, listen, as I normally do, I got to do my homework and check the band out. And so I went and listened to Pulverizer, Another Dose, Preacher Love, Pet Cemetery, and then Small World. I tried to go back up the list after. And I would have to say, like, Pet Cemetery was, like, not where I expected your origin to be at, like, musically. And so I was pretty surprised that going from, if you listen to the oldest song to newest song, what kind of a different drastic takes those are in. But still, to me, still has that sort of ethos of what Gamblers is, even though obviously completely different spectrums of music. But I think probably out of the ones that I listened to the most, I think I enjoyed Small World the most, even though I would probably put Pulverizer as number 2 and very close to number 2. But Small World, I was listening to it here at my computer desk, and I was like, this is groovy. It's got some like fun, intricate kind of sections at least. And like if I wasn't doing this interview, I would have definitely played it again like a few more times. But then I was like, oh, I have to hop on this because it's like 2 minutes till we start. And so
We could wrap up early so you can get back to that.
No. I have to go on to pick your brain,
It would be great if we signed on to the Zoom call and you're just like grooving to our tune in the back.
I'll do it. That's the promo video. But
we need every stream we could get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't spend it all in one place, guys. But I was really surprised, and I think it kind of leads back to Pulverizer in such a really interesting and like melodic way, and I think it almost makes me. I'm just kind of excited to see where your next path will be musically, and it's cool that you guys have such a great variation in your songwriting, but still. Like, I could go and listen to an older song and I could listen to a newer song, and you still have, like, that main core kind of vibe to it that I don't think will ever leave the type of writing style that you guys have, hopefully. But for people maybe who are checking out this interview and haven't heard of Gamblers before, what song would you recommend to a new listener to check out first to kind of give them an idea of your sound and what you guys do?
Wow, that's a tough one.
It is a difficult one, yeah.
You know, in the
Check out Purple
conversation,
Rain by Prince.
yeah, that'll set you in nice.
Okay, great. Well, that would be the mood setter, and then then you can go listen to
Yeah.
Gamblers.
Yeah. I was gonna say honestly, when you're kind of calling out like sort of, album to album, the evolution of the sound of Gamblers, Pulverizer to me is a really good kind of meeting of all the different types of Gamblers that's out there right now.
Agreed.
Because it has, I would say it starts off in a very kind of maybe dancey, new wavy. Some people have been calling it out like disco-y, dark disco vibes, which is, not necessarily the first thing you think of when you think of indie rock. But we did go really into a dancey territory with one of our releases, When We Exit. A lot of that is like really meant for like, a groovy, dancey feel. So Pulverizer has that, but it also really brings in live feeling instruments. The chorus has like electric guitars and rock and roll drums. And there's live sax all over it. And so to me, that like kind of meshes the two sort of sides of Gamblers right now. There's really more to it than two sides, but the live rock band feel and the sort of, programmed, sequenced, exploring some dance territory feel. And a lot of the new record is like that. So get ready.
I'm stoked. Mike or Johnny?
What was the question?
So the question was, if for people who are watching this video and haven't heard of Gamblers, what song would you recommend to a new listener to check out first?
I said Purple Rain already. That was my answer.
Damn,
someone's gonna be so confused.
So because there's more songs that aren't out yet. That's the problem. Like I might pick one of the songs like from the album,
okay,
but it's not out yet, so that's not really helpful. But yeah, I might say Pulverizer as well, just because, like Jimmy was saying, I think it is a true representation of what the band brings in terms of, rock, live instruments, yet it has an electronic backbeat. I think it's pretty catchy. It's got some distortion, so it's I wouldn't say heavy, but it's got some grit. So that's probably my answer, because I would say like a song like We're Bound to Be Together, which was like probably the biggest song from our first album, got on the radio and stuff like that. Not that it was like super big, but the problem there would be that I can't really say that as a representation of our entire body of work, because that's a very, very poppy, like, hey, here's like a surf rock poppy tune. Sure. And that's not really representative of the rest of our catalog. Then you have like Another Dose with Mick Jenkins, which is far and away our most popular song. And like, even to this day, it's like, just people every day are posting videos of it. And like, it's crazy. But that's not that on the other end of the spectrum. That's not the full representation of what we are, because that's a very electronic, very dancey. So I might have to be with Jimmy on that as far as Pulverizer, because of, like he was saying, just bringing it all together.
Yeah, I don't think I would disagree. The best way I could have culminated your sound, at least for Pulverizer, was I thought you guys kind of sounded like a mesh between the Human League and Cake.
Cool.
Oh, that's super cool, man. That's cool. Nice.
I was trying to figure out that synth sound and like the way that you guys kind of tonalized it, and I was like, this is nostalgic to me for some reason, and I couldn't quite figure it out. So like I was Googling it on my computer. I'm like, I know this, like there's a song that I know that has a similar feel but isn't the same thing, and I couldn't think of it, and I was like, it's gotta be, I'm just gonna try to type in lyrics that I remember from the song that I'm trying to like put together, and like I played through and I was like, it's the Human League. I couldn't. I was trying hard to really place it, and I was like, that I nailed it. Like that was on. I was so stoked about it. And then Cake was like, I feel like a pretty obvious choice, but like also another fantastic band. So I was like, I feel like if they don't like this answer, then I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna call it quits. It's over with. I'm done doing this. We're good.
No, I mean, you also just named two bands that really balance an electronic feel and like a real band feel that doesn't overtake a song. Yeah, we're down with. I mean, Cake does that so well. It's slick and produced, but also kind of like with retains some character and dorkiness about it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the way that you guys kind of modernize old, and I don't want to say that in like a really weird way, but like I think that's the best way I can kind of describe this type of sound. It like has this sort of like nostalgia that I obviously didn't grow up in the 80s, but like for me, like listening to a lot more 80s pop music now because it's become more popular, and just kind of like going through the cycle a little bit, and then just stuff that my parents threw on every once in a while, kind of gave me that sort of inkling of like, okay, they were definitely like trying to modernize that like 80s pop sound, but also taking characteristics from like more like a Daft Punk type era of music, but as well as that, like retaining a lot of that old, but still modernizing it and keeping it fun and interesting,
Yeah, I mean, you've triggered the part of the conversation where now I talk about Huey Lewis and the News a little bit.
Let's go.
Everybody take a shot.
It's gonna be a lot.
I love when you bring.
But I'll say for sure, during the writing of this and production, I at least was really into, I would say 80s stuff, but 80s stuff makes you think of like Laser Lights. What I don't know, like specifically, I think I was into some records between like 83 and 85.
Okay.
Huey Lewis and the News Sports, Prince, Purple Rain. That might be like 84, 83, and Cyndi Lauper. She's so unusual.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, those are also records. I would say at least Huey and Cyndi are doing kind of throwback 50s-y stuff, but with new 80s production values. So those are almost records where they're like, doing that thing that you just mentioned of just like bringing the old to the new. I mean, Huey Lewis is like a doo-wop-y sounding dude that then has like introduces synth bass in slick production, and it's a whole new thing, and it's like really cool. So yeah, we're obsessed with stuff from all over the map, and a lot of it is old. So I think that definitely shined through.
You mentioned doo-wop specifically. Like I love doo-wop. Like Frankie Valli is one of my favorite singers of all time, and a lot of the groups from that time and a lot of the songs from that time is definitely a big influence on me personally. So like, yeah, that's those connections are really interesting, and even if it's not necessarily something we sat down to do, it's just it makes sense that it would come out like that.
Yeah, it feels really natural that you guys would write in that sort of styling. And I think it goes back to my point on that, like, you have this main, like, core of what I imagine Gamblers is, and that's kind of like that core where no matter what you write, there's always going to be that, like, set thing that I, like, could pick out pretty immediately and be like, this is a Gambler song, like, 100%. So I love that element of it, and obviously excited to listen to the album and try to piecemeal it all together. But I also noticed something really interesting as well. As I mentioned before, I went through your discography. When We Exit had like a majority of the songs had a feature. I think only one song was one without a feature. I'm curious if that was kind of more of an intentional approach to have more like variety, more different spice on the songs. And then I guess how did you kind of come about choosing these people to be as guest features on that record?
Yeah, you're exactly right. So with When We Exit, basically what happened was we were already working on this new album, Pulverizer. But just the way that album cycles, how long they end up taking, we didn't want to wait that long, because we had waited 5 years before we put out the first album. So the first album came out in 2020, and then When We Exit came out in 2022, which is right smack dab in between, 2024, where we're putting this record out. So it started with their remixes of 5 songs from Small World, which are
Oh,
on When We Exit.
nice.
But truth be told, like, they're really way more produced and redone, and like they're barely remixes. Like, they started with some vocal stems, but they're basically their own songs, with traces back to those 5 songs. And the intention, exactly like you said, was to do something different, to show a very, very different side of us. I was a hip hop producer for a long time, in
Oh, nice.
between playing in different bands. I mean, I still consider myself a hip hop producer, but I was doing that like more of my focus, as opposed to focusing on the band like I am now. But so I was like, I had a lot of experience as far as like, A&Ring projects, if you will, and getting different features, and
Mm,
putting people together. And I thought it would be really fun to like utilize that experience, within the context of the band, um, because I missed doing that, and I missed being, making music in that way, in terms of collaboration. And also, like, going back to the beginning of the conversation, when the initial version of the band broke apart and I kind of carried on as Gamblers, a big part of that was a freedom to really choose
do
how
what you
we
want.
want to move forward. Specifically, how I wanted to move forward at that point in time, being the only person left. So a part of that was like, hey, fuck it. Like, Gamblers could have a hip hop track. Why the fuck not? As far as choosing the artists, we definitely like, I definitely had an idea of who would work for each song. And then it's like, you just kind of go through a process of, having conversations, reaching out to people, and then, trying to figure out the business end. And luckily, we ended up with some not only amazing artists that we worked with, but people that really, they what they delivered was almost exceeding what I could have even imagined.
Mm,
Um, as far as how perfectly everyone kind of lined up, and having a guy like Sky Zoo, like a track that really doesn't get spoken about at all, is the last track on that record, called Predestined, and fucking Sky Zoo is on that. Like, if you know hip hop, I mean, Sky Zoo is a fucking legend. Like, the fact
sure.
that we have Sky Zoo, like, just, oh, by the way, I'm just gonna drop a fucking verse, like, it's so cool. And like, obviously, even some of the other tracks that don't get talked about too much, like you mentioned, Preach Your Love, with our great friend, Nova One, out of Providence, Rhode Island. They're fucking unbelievable. Always been a big fan. And then, obviously, the Mick Jenkins track, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, that took on a life that nobody could have predicted, especially from our side and our team. And then, let's not forget Lydia Luce, who's, Jimmy's sister-in-law, coincidentally, or not coincidentally. I guess that was where the connection came from. But she's an amazing artist. Like, so I just think it's so cool. Like, we have like Lydia Luce, who's like a string player, folk artist from Nashville, and then we have Sky Zoo and Mick Jenkins. Like, it's like, that's like the soup of music that I want to be a part of. Like, it's almost like I feel like I don't know, like booking my own favorite show or something like that.
Yeah. You have your cake and eat it too, kind of a
Yeah.
situation. Yeah. That was kind of my like initial thought. I always love when bands do collaborations, because I think it's always interesting to get. I'm sure as artists, it's always interesting to peer in the mind of someone else and how they go about writing and their process, because it could be far different than how you write and how you do things. And I think for me too, as well as being an interviewer, it's like every group that I have on that I talk with, the experiences are all going to be vastly different from each other. So I think to me, it's like I would love to be just kind of like a fly on the wall and understand like, wow, this is like some crazy shit that happened, and like this is what resulted from like them collaborating in that way. And so, it's such a cool thing. So I'll have to go and listen to some of the other features because I got about halfway through. But I thought that was pretty interesting, and I'm glad you guys chose the ones that you did because the first one, Nova One, I was like, I didn't even know about this group, and now I'm like, I love this group. So I hope that it allows people to find out about these people that they didn't know about before, and now they're like, this is my new favorite group. This is crazy. So love to see it.
Absolutely.
The next question I have for you guys is, what was kind of the first artist or band or something you saw in media that wanted to make you play music? What started you out? Was there any specific moment that you can remember that you were just like, man, I got to pick up a guitar, or I have to start playing, I got to go buy a drum kit, or like I have to start doing vocals? What was kind of that first moment?
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I grew up like taking piano lessons and like in a lot of church stuff. There's always music stuff around. My dad would like play guitar, and I always had that out around the house, and so it was around in my life. But I remember, I mentioned the church. It was kind of a strict household, so we didn't have TV or VH1, but they did not yet know how to block. There was a third Canadian music channel called Much Music, and I saw Radiohead on there.
Sick.
Creep. I remember the day. I was like in my living room, and it was Creep. That's a very like, I think it's just kind of, the music video is kind of just like a live performance. I don't think there's much to it. I had heard like Nirvana before, but I wasn't like allowed to listen to. I was like scared of Nirvana. Maybe. Radio on Creep, at least they brought that sort of Nirvana vibe, but it was a little twisted, a little weird or something. I don't know. And that hit hard. And then I didn't realize, I mean, that song, I guess, was a couple years old at that point, because they were like, oh, and now debuting their new music video for Just, which is an amazing music video. It's like a short film. It's like a Twilight Zone episode of a music video. And it blew my little like 10-year-old brain. And so at that point, I remember asking my dad, like, okay, I want to learn how to play this song on guitar. Creep, really? I still can't play. I played in a Radiohead tribute band, and I still can't fuck with that song. But yeah, I was like, I want to play guitar, and I was like, I want to learn how to play this, and he was like, well, I can teach you like some worship songs. It taught me like 4 or 5 chords. It wasn't the Radiohead chords, but I eventually got to those. But yeah, that kicked me off. I wanted to be Johnny Greenwood forever, and I still do. I have too many pedals and raglan t-shirts.
Yes. I love that. Mike or Johnny?
I'll go.
I mean, go ahead.
All right. I wanted to be my cousin growing up. He taught me how to play the drums when I was early. My cousin Bobby is crazy. I grew up listening to the Beatles and shit, but like really when I saw the Strokes on MTV, I must have been, we were in Burners, so that was like 13, 14. Yeah, 2002, I guess, or 2001. They were on MTV and it fucking ruled. They were just playing like their music video is just them playing live, and they're just, I was like, this is we could do this.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm honest, it was like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Green Day, Nirvana, Sublime, the Smashing Pumpkins, Stone Temple Pilots, like just 90s shit. When I started watching MTV, pretty much. I had a very religious babysitter who like wouldn't let us watch MTV, but you see the recurring theme here.
But I
would watch it like when she wasn't paying attention and shit like that, and like sneak The Simpsons and things. Also like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Biggie, like Puff Daddy at the time. Yeah, like just a lot of the 90s stuff really was like, I was like, okay,
All of it.
I want this is what I want to do. Like, this is what the fuck I want to do. I had like even like an Elvis CD. I had like the Beach Boys, big time the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Like I had a Beach Boys greatest hits when I was like 5, and I was like, are you supposed to cry when you listen to songs? Like I didn't know. Like I didn't know. Like I was like, why am I feeling like, why is this making me feel?
Why I have
'Cause, like,
emotions?
Yeah, because no one really explains that to you.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
but music just innately makes you feel.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that was me.
I love that. I also grew up in a religious household as well, so I feel like most transplants of music in some degree is people who have used to be religious and now are not religious anymore. So, you know, I don't know if that tells about anything. You can read between the lines if you'd like, but yeah, I feel like I would agree. A lot of the '90s stuff, like obviously, it was probably a little too young to be in the '90s stuff. But then once we got into like early 2000s, that's when I like got into the music scene, and then went back and listened to some of the stuff in the '90s, and it's great. I obviously would love to see more. Like, it would be interesting to see if grunge will make a recycle, since, you know, we're now 80s like pop music. So be curious if the
Yeah.
next stage is moving more into a grungy type vibe.
Where you been, dude?
I don't know, man. I'm sure it's there, but I haven't.
That's everywhere right now. Yeah, yeah.
Johnny's
I
bringing
love
on
rock.
the revival.
Alice in Chains was one of my favorite bands when I was a kid too. I failed to mention them. So
Do you have
speaking
a
about rock.
good modern grunge band right now, Johnny, that I should listen to?
So there's a bunch that have come back from the 90s.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Hum,
Oh yeah.
Failure,
Failure's great.
Failure.
Yep. Yeah.
Shiner.
Shiner or not? No, I'll check them out.
Shiner's similar vein. They're great.
Okay.
Train Dodge.
Oh, okay. Chain Dodge. Yeah, I haven't heard that name in a while, but yeah.
Super Bloom is like a modern 90s band.
Okay. I'll have to check that
Every band in Brooklyn playing right now.
out.
I can name.
Jawbox.
Right now.
Jawbox.
Yeah. Jawbox. Okay.
They
I feel
came
like
back?
more
Are they
the
back
emo
though? I
thing
don't
is
know.
back.
I thought
The
they came
emo thing is more back. Yeah, the emo thing is more back than the grunge thing. I feel like.
Sunny
Did
Day.
we skip? Yeah, that kind of vibe is back again, like Duster and stuff.
Yeah. If you got a good grunge band that's doing stuff now, that is a band now, let me know. But would
Yeah.
love to know, because I feel like that if it isn't already starting now, I mean, unless you live in Brooklyn, then it's all the time. But if you live anywhere else, maybe it's starting, you know? So let us know if you're in a sick grunge band, or you know a sick grunge band that's killing it now, because I'd be curious to check that out.
I
Hold
heard
on a
Johnny.
second, Audio Addiction. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Pennsylvania.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What part?
I am close to Philadelphia.
You getting ready for WrestleMania 40?
No. I'm staying the fuck out of that city when WrestleMania 40 comes to town.
It's gonna be
I
You
would
good.
getting
never
ready
be-
for us staying on your couch?
Hey,
March
listen,
29th?
come through. Yeah, come through. Come through, guys. We'd love to
We're
have you.
playing. We're playing.
Oh, you were playing in this city the same day?
Right around the block from your place.
What the fuck? All right.
Yep.
Where-
We're playing on March 29th. We're playing in
Okay,
Philly.
I'll come out for sure. Do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what venue
yeah.
guys are playing on the 29th? Oh, you got the
Yeah,
thumbs
what-
up.
Chris,
Oh,
something
Fort
with a C.
Leeds.
Do you remember? That's a
I
good. We
just-
should plug that.
I just fucking looked at it.
Fort Leeds.
Ortlieb's.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay. I love Ortlieb's. Shout outs.
Me
I'll
too.
be there. I'll be there.
Thanks,
Guys,
man.
if I'm there, say hello to me. Be very cool.
Yeah, we'll put it on the list.
Next question, guys. Keeping it more current. What are you guys jamming now? What's bands you've been spinning recently?
Ooh.
Shania Twain.
Actually?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Okay, I love Shania Twain. That's why I asked.
I like some of Jack Harlow's songs, but I'm like in the gym a lot because I don't know.
Same.
But I listen to Jack Harlow and Shania Twain.
What a combo! I want to be next to Mike in the gym.
I'm getting my pump in. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to see. I just want to see Mike just like bench pressing to Shania Twain. Like I feel like a woman is just going like fucking ham. Love to see it.
Yes.
Yep.
You know what I'll throw out that I've been digging since you said you're in a little bit of an 80s kick? Paul Young. I never used to listen to him. John Young, our producer, no relation, producer and collaborator on the When We Exit EP, brought up Paul Young as a reference at some point. He's a singer, songwriter, producer, bass player, lead from the bass. But the production style is really what stands out. It's similar to those other records I mentioned where it's just super deliberate, super slick, but in a way that I love. Love Will Tear Us Apart. People have probably heard that song. Maybe through covers. Let me think what records to call out. What is the name of the record I'm loving? Sorry, I have to look this up because this is a true kind of a new
Missing Persons? Spring Sessions
No,
EP?
that rules. You should talk about that, but no, I'm talking about Paul Young, No Parlay, Parlez. Check it out. There's a song called Sex. Isn't that rude?
It's so rude.
But
all the Christians
Johnny,
left.
Johnny just mentioned another of my favorites that I was going to bring up, but you should talk about that record, Johnny. Missing Persons. It's so good.
Missing Persons by the Bozios. Missing Persons is the band. The album name is Spring Sessions EP by Dale and Terry Bozio. Terry Bozio is a sick drummer, and Dale is like sick on the vocals back then.
His ex-wife, right?
Yeah, I think she got arrested for animal cruelty for having a lot of cats, being a cat hoarder. She's like one of those ladies. My future wife.
It's my future in general.
Record's really cool.
Shout out my future wife.
That's a cool record. It kind of sounds like The Police, but if Terry Bozzio was on drums, throwing in some extra fills, and a great vocalist.
And not animal abuse. Maybe.
No.
That's good. Well,
I'll make sure
my cat outside of my room doesn't hear that because he'll get real upset, so I'll make sure while I'm editing this, it's all muted, just
show him the mask.
Oh, what? The mask? Oh, God. Oh, no.
It's that time again.
I don't
boys.
like this. I don't like this.
This happens sometimes.
This feels like a bit. What the fuck?
What? It's a different one.
What the fuck?
Oh,
That's
shit.
not what I meant. Show him the other mask.
No.
Wow,
No.
Why no? He's a cat.
The thumbs up.
All right.
This is like so. Oh my God! Holy shit! That was not what I expected. Somebody should make that into a meme. That's all I'm saying. Somebody should make that into a real deal. That should be your promo for your album. Is just Johnny and the cat mask and all of the fireworks going off in the back. It's a gambler's new record.
Yeah.
Buy it or die.
Buy it or now. And then you just have a bunch of like explosions, like one of those like monster truck like videos that you see. They're like, buy tickets now. For gamblers.
That'd work better than anything we've ever done.
I think it would be really sick, honestly. So
by far.
Take me up on that offer.
1-800 99 99 99.
Oh, you could buy the record right here. Into that. Anyway, that was my terrible plug to this new album that's gonna come out. So don't worry. Do some more of those.
It's very Long Island plug.
All right, guys. The next question I have for you is: if you guys could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Ooh.
Time to get
Man, what if we did?
all your shit out now.
Do we have to agree on this? Can we have different
Nah.
answers?
You can have
Thank
different
you.
answers. Yeah, you're steering the ship.
I got mine. It's been on my list for some time.
What is it?
Real Love by the Beatles.
That's mine, you idiot.
Is
I
that
said it
the like
first.
90s?
That's fucking mine, dude. You can't fucking say that.
Well, I agree with it. What? It doesn't.
All right, you can agree
got-
with it, but you can't say it's yours.
Well, you.
All right, fine. I'll think of a different one. Never mind.
He was fighting real
I'll go
hard
with
for it.
I got another one.
Soul Love. David Bowie.
Oh, damn.
That's a good
That'd be
choice.
fun.
Yeah.
We got sexes and
Fuck you,
everything.
Mike. That's his.
Sandblasted
Damn.
Skin by Pantera.
Oh,
Mm.
that would be interesting.
That'd be hard.
I want to
That'd be
do.
hard.
I want to do The Power of Love. Come on, Huey Lewis in the News.
Guys,
Come on
remember,
now.
you have to take a shot every time that Jimmy says Huey News and lose. I don't know. Fucking, I'm drunk. I'm
Sounds
not
like you
actually.
took some shots.
Yeah, I already took them. We're doing this interview. No, that's I like that choice. That's a great one. And
Thank
you
you.
know, I feel very vindicated on John's choice because listen, he really sold it to me. I thought he was gonna break through the computer screen and just say like, "We're doing this cover." I got a little scared. Gonna be honest.
Yeah, he got a little
He
aggressive.
got a little
there.
aggressive. Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Well,
Bring out the mess.
no, please don't do that. If you guys would love to hear any of these covers, or you'd like to give a suggestion of your own, drop them down in the comments. Let them know what you'd like to hear. I can't guarantee they would do it, but a polite
We'll
suggestion
do
always
it.
goes a long way. So
We don't have anything else going on. We'll do it.
there we go. See, you heard it from the source. Next question, guys. What is your favorite food to eat? What's your go-to?
Damn.
Pizza.
Just any type of
Cool.
pizza?
Yeah, regular pizza.
You're a man of
Falafel.
words.
I mean, you stole my answer.
Which
But,
one of us?
What's your answer?
pizza.
Oh.
Oh,
That's just the boringest thing. I grew up raised by Ninja Turtles, and that's what I am now. I live in Queens, and I still try like a new pizza place every week.
do you
Most
have
of them are disappointing.
I was gonna say, did you have a good?
Yeah,
I'm
you know
glad I
what?
didn't ask that
Here's what-
before that.
Here's what I'll say from a Long Island band. I live in Queens. I can't say this too loud. My windows are shut. But Long Island has the best pizza in the world.
Let's
Coliseo.
go.
Coliseo
I don't-
pizza.
I don't know.
We don't have to. We don't. You had your time. Coliseo Pizza 112 from Port Jeff Station.
Port
Wow.
Jeff.
World.
Yeah. Go eat your heart out, fans, in Port Jeff.
It feels oddly
I'll show you.
specific. You're
Yeah.
like, you in
It's
this
just
select
called-
radius, eat your shit. There you go. What else? You're gonna mic drop, Yeah, I don't want to say I have a horse in that race because I am not from Long Island or in the New York City area, so I am not gonna I'm not gonna be in that race at all. So, good luck in the comments. Best of luck,
Come at me.
soldiers.
Jimmy Nation, you know I'm right. Back me up.
Hashtag Jimmy Nation.
I hope
Those are my
this. I hope
Jimmy
this clip goes viral so you guys can have like a juke out between like New
Yeah.
York City and Long Island.
Hashtag all my students. You know where the fuck the pizza is.
All right. That's Johnny's crew. All my students. I'm Jimmy Nation.
And
The
to
battle line.
Johnny's students, thank you for the engagement on social media.
Yeah.
Keep it coming.
Let's go.
And
Yeah.
he's drinking grape juice in that glass. It's grape juice. And Santa Claus is real.
Oh wow.
This is great. This is totally not taking a turn for the worst, I don't think. So if you have some strong pizza comments, let us know. Don't come after me. That's all I ask. So thank you for serving. It's been a pleasure.
I can handle.
What you guys say?
I can handle the heat.
Okay. Listen, you guys, yeah, you guys are from, you guys are from New York, so I feel like that was almost assumed, Northeast, we're a special brand of like special, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks we're like mad all the time. Like if you ever go to somewhere else.
What the fuck are you
dated a
talking
girl
about,
who,
Mike? I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I dated a girl
You can-
who grew up in Europe, and she always thought I was arguing with my family. And I'm like, no, that's how we talk.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like you guys are
No.
kind of. I'm like, no, that's called just conversation. Like they just think it's aggressive,
Yeah, it's like
If you park your car in Port Jefferson, by the way, people will be out there walking around and talking to each other. See if you can decide without hearing within your car, without hearing what they're saying. Are they fighting or is everything cool? Because they're looking at what's one person talking to another like this. It's
Yeah,
like, are
I
you
mean-
threatening this guy's life, or are you just talking about your experience at the deli a half hour ago? Relax.
both sound great.
That's everywhere on Long Island. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's extra funny for bands that are from the West Coast and they play East Coast because it's like totally different. And I like have pointed it out multiple times. They're like, "Yo, are they fighting over there?" I'm like, "Nah, they're probably just arguing about who has the best Philly cheesesteak in the area." They're just really passionate about it.
Well, they love each
There's-
other.
Yeah, they
That's
love
how
each
they
other.
love.
Yeah, if I say
They're just mad the
fuck
Eagles
off,
shit the bed.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just got to be a bunch of expletives, and and then by the end of it, they hug it out, and you're good, But you won't see the hug because they don't show weakness. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, our
Yeah.
love language is toxic aggression. It's beautiful.
I don't think you could have said it in a better way, Jimmy. Crushed it. I think that's
Yeah.
accurate.
That was the second title for Pulverizer, actually. Toxic aggression.
That's
It should have been.
it.
That's it. That's your next song. It'll be. That's how it should be named. I feel like that'd be.
We are toxic aggression.
We are.
I love
I
it.
feel
Gotta have
like.
like the keychains on the black jeans with the long.
To hold your
Metallic
wallet
keychain.
inside.
Yeah.
I would always want to have a band that has like the most aggressive name but play like normal pop music.
You're looking at it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Hello.
true. That's true, actually. Yeah. You guys are like Baby's Blood. That's your band name, you write pop music. It's great. I'm surprised they said Gamblers. I didn't, I thought it was Baby's Blood. That's what I thought your band name was, instinctually.
That's our side project, our Swedish death metal side project.
Coming out soon.
Yeah,
All right.
look out for that.
All right, guys. The next question I have for you is if you guys could have a dream collaboration on an up-and-coming Gamblers track, who would you love to have on? This is 2 answers to 1 question. The first answer is one that is more feasible. If you have some friends that you would love to have on, but you haven't bullied them into being on your record, now is the time to bully them in a nice northeast way. And then the second answer is the dream answer, the one that we're manifesting for you guys right now.
Wow.
I'd like to have Jimmy's dad. I don't know for which answer, but I'll choose that for both feasible and unfeasible. Jimmy's dad.
I don't know how feasible it is, but I've performed with him before. He does do it. He's pretty good.
Feasible, unfeasible.
That would be epic because I've only seen my dad play acoustic guitar, but I feel like if he got in with us, I'd have to strap him up with an electric. Man, that might be hard for me, honestly. I'm like turning 40 and like seeing your dad strap on an electric and like whip your ass at guitar. I can't take that right now. I'm low T as is.
Dude, get more low T.
But no, that could be cool.
Well, our new single that's coming out in a couple weeks called "Running from My Grave." Would like to do a remix, "When We Exit" style. Haley Williams on vocals.
Cool.
Let's go. I can get behind that.
Unfeasible. For now,
Unfeasible.
what's it? Feasible, I would say Jimmy's mom.
So my mom is the most feasible, honestly. She would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
you guys
she's
don't.
easy.
You wouldn't know this yet, but we haven't played enough shows where my mom is present yet. But she usually, honestly, tries to find a way on stage at the shows I'm playing. I've had to like talk to her about this. She does sing. It's like she doesn't really sing, but she knows how to do harmony, which is like you just sing the time, like the one of the whole thing the whole time. She's like, and she just kind of sings along in one note, and it's in key, so it kind of works.
She was in the front at one of our shows, and she like rocked out the whole time. She was like dancing the whole time.
Yeah. You can tell from spending 1 hour with me on this phone call that I'm soaking up too much attention in the room. You haven't met my mother. She loves it. She's the star of every show that I play.
I just want to say, you guys are the first group that I've had on that has said, I would like to have a band member's parents on a track. And I think you might be I think you might actually be the only man that I'll have on here that says, yeah, I'd like to have Jimmy's mom on this.
He's such a bully.
Look, to have Jimmy's dad on the track, you know.
Jimmy Nation.
Jimmy Nation.
The answer was literally your mom.
Yeah, your mom.
Jimmy Nation.
That is the ultimate your mom joke, actually, I feel.
Yeah. No, I had that coming, but honestly, my mom had it coming too.
I mean, I think it's a compliment, personally.
Yeah, dude, you're lucky.
She
God,
can't
you're
see
so
this.
lucky.
She can't see this not because of the things that I've said. She can't see it because of the actual chance that she would be like, "Oh, they want me to say." Oh, she's gonna get. Up there,
she's gonna know. Yeah, she's gonna pick up on the hint and be like, "Oh, you guys want me on the stage?"
Yeah,
and you should. You know?
My dad is up there, if my dad is up there whipping ass on electric guitar, and my mom gets up there as a front man, you'll place her as a backup singer, but she's gonna end up front. She has BDE. They're gonna make me want to quit music.
I actually think it would be really funny if Jimmy's parents swapped with John and Mike, and John and Mike got off the stage, and it's just Jimmy's parents and Jimmy.
We had a backup singer who did that. Who like they like tend to get closer to the front of the stage. And you're like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
Hey, you just wanted to see my son play, you know?
Yeah.
Be up close and personal with him.
My mom parties
like
hardly
8-9 people on stage at a time. We don't do that anymore.
Oh.
We used to have like an orchestra on stage.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, guys, listen.
I'm gonna throw one last thing. I do want to get my wish list. Todd Rundgren does remixes sometimes. That would be a great collab. Todd Rundgren remix a Gambler song. I love you, dude. You're a wizard and a true star.
Let's go.
I don't mean this as like rude at all, but I just kind of assumed he was no longer with us. So that's cool.
Todd is still touring, my man, and putting out stuff like all the time.
My bad.
Todd's gonna watch this and be like, "Fuck you guys."
Well, I just
Not
got
me.
Jimmy gave me a nice housewarming present of a couple of vinyls, and one of them was a Todd Rundgren album. And I just assumed because of the picture, I was like, "Oh, that's a guy who's been dead a long time." So
It's a dark, yeah.
no offense.
Hermit of
no
makeup.
offense.
He should use that as the tagline for that album that Jimmy gave you. Man, I thought you were dead. Too bad. It's all right. Anyway, if you guys want to have, this is a very weird request on my behalf, but you know, if you would like to hear Jimmy's parents collab on the next Gamblers track, then I don't know if they have social media, but you know, they probably have a carrier pigeon. So if you wanna, send in the carrier pigeon, you know, like Hogwarts, whatever the fuck that owl is, you know, if you want to send that in and then type the word collab on a piece of paper and then just mail it to them, they'll get it in like 7 to 10 business days, and then they'll either decline or not. So I don't know, but either way, you've asked for it, and there we go. And that's, you know,
It's funny. It's funny, like you say, like decline or not, because one of the things that I find as a grown ass man, which is like hysterical, is like the idea that you still get like declined for things in the music business. Like before we got put in touch with Big Picture Media through a friend. And they've been great and stuff like that. But like in previous times, we've been like, oh, you know, who could we work with? And like we had a conversation with one publicist, and she's like some kind of hotshot publicist, you know, type of thing. And she wrote us back, and she was like, I feel like your songs are so close, but and it's just like, wait a second, like, what formula are you using there? Like, you have like a songs are close formula? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's fucking music. Like, I'm a fucking grown ass man, and you're telling, like, it's like you're patting me on the head like I'm a 12, just like, oh, you're getting pretty good at the guitar. Just it's gonna be a couple more years. It's just like, what the fuck? But like, it's, you know, it's like, I guess it's even worse with acting. It's, you know, like I have friends who are actors, and I've had to like, you know, help them. I help my friend shoot like an audition and stuff like that. And that's just like all day long, just like, you know, rejection.
No,
but it's kind of funny when it's just like, we're going to pass. It's like, no, we're going to pass. We're going to pass. Like,
I'm taking the authority on this. I am passing on you guys.
No. You can't fire me. I quit.
My mom would not let them talk to us like that if she was in the group, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're asking your parents to collab, you know, so it works out.
Making your own case there, bud.
Yeah, there you go. We'd love to see it. No, I feel you. I definitely feel you, Mike. It's like when I ask to interview some groups, and they're like, yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to fit in their schedule. I'm like, they're out on tour. What the fuck are they going to do for the rest of the day? They play their one set and eat shit. That's it. And talk about their music that they're on tour for.
Yeah.
That's the thing with us. We just eat shit.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
What's on the agenda? Play the show and piss in a Gatorade bottle at some point.
Yeah. There you go. Wow.
Yeah, let's not talk to Audio Addiction.
That guy sucks. He's the worst. I hate him. Oh, man. Wow. Anyway, guys, the next question I have for you is, if you were to compile a dream tour lineup including Gamblers, who would be on this lineup?
Oh, man. Outside of my parents. I want to go out with Flaming Lips. Those live shows that Flaming Lips do, it's like, that's a magical experience. I've seen them a few times, usually around my birthday. That's a live show I want to be a part of, man. And some dudes I want to hang out with. Dream Blunt Rotation. Just a bunch of people in furry suits with gray hair. Passing it from like those bubbles to.
Please do not take that out of context, guys. I just want to prep. If you watch this video, do not take
Oh,
that
he
clip
meant
out.
what you thought he meant.
No,
He
no,
meant
I
what you
know.
heard.
Just don't take it out.
I'm not
context.
even sure whose toes I stepped on with that one, but yeah, bring
It
it on.
just sounded weird, so just doing damage
Or
control
did it
out here.
sound right?
It sounded right, but
If you haven't been to a Flaming Lips concert, check it out. It's a good time.
I have not.
If you
no.
haven't been to a furry convention,
I also
don't
have
know
not.
what your problem is. You're s-
I respect that. Anyway.
Mike's vegan. Say that.
Oh, that's why. It
It's
makes
like having a
sense.
scarlet letter being vegan. I don't even know what that means. Is that wrong?
No,
It's-
you're right.
no, you're right. It's just funny that you're like, this is the hill I'm going to die on, veganism.
But it's not. Like everyone makes it your hill. But like,
I
get
was-
on that hill. Get on that hill.
They pick you up.
Get on that
Yeah.
hill. And you're like, I'm just trying to
I'm just trying
Hill.
No, hill. That's your hill. Mike's hill.
Mhm.
Who would I want to tour with? Maybe Fleetwood Mac when they were all together and alive.
Ooh.
Because like that was another band I forgot to mention. My mom used to. I grew up with the Fleetwood Mac and Cat Stevens.
Hell yeah.
I don't know that. I mean, I could have 50
Dad loves Cat
answers to
Stevens.
that. I do.
Johnny, you want to give your answers?
No, I think we got it covered here.
Pretty full bill.
Yeah, like
Flaming Lips, Cat Stevens,
Flaming
Fleetwood
Lips and
Mac.
Fleetwood Mac.
And Jimmy's parents.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool.
in costume.
And
Oh,
Moon Tooth.
I love Moon Tooth.
Yeah,
Shout outs. They're fucking sick. Come on
That'd
the
be
show,
fun.
guys.
Yeah.
Answer
That's
the
just
emails.
like,
They'll come on the show. They'll come on the show.
That's why I had to
they'll
point.
answer your-
You know, come on
Yeah.
the show, guys.
No, they'll
Oh.
come on.
yeah,
love to
we'll
have
get
you.
them on.
Okay.
We'll send them a text.
You'd be like, yo, this guy sucks. But go on his
Don't
show.
do
it.
Don't do it. Whatever you do.
Don't. If
This
he
guy says some
emails
weird
you.
stuff about Jimmy's parents, but you should go on the show.
I'm
Anyway,
pretty sure he's backed by the CIA. It's an inside job.
I'm a double
Audio
agent.
addiction with Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, no.
Not
No,
that
no.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Also, that one either. Both. Neither. Anybody named Jeffrey Epstein? No. Sorry if
You know,
if
there's a bunch of other Jeffrey Epsteins out there. I'm sure that are
Yeah, I
just
know.
trying to like be like car salesmen or like like work for the post office
Well,
and they're just
That's
screwed
their
for the
yeah,
rest of
I
their
was gonna
life.
say. That sucks. I'm sorry for every,
It's like that Seinfeld episode when Elaine dates the guy named Joel Rifkin.
Yes. Oh my God. Shout out to Joel Rifkin.
Don't take that out of context.
don't take that out. That is definitely something you
Yeah.
want to say.
Shout out to
Dream
Joel
Blunt
Rifkin,
Mutation.
Sandler.
This is
Dream
only
blunt.
Dream Blunt. This is not good. Anyway, we're gonna move
The
on.
last 10 minutes.
We're gonna totally bleep. There's gonna be so many like censorship moments here, or not. I don't know, depending upon how lazy I am. Anyway, the next question I have for you guys is: you've seen a lot of shows in your time. Well, what's one band that puts on a fantastic live show?
You just called out Moontooth. I mean,
I haven't
Those guys
had
are-
Slipknot. They're
the
Oh, wow.
vibes.
Did you see the Hives, Johnny?
Yeah.
Where the hell was
Have you
I?
never seen the Hives?
No.
Oh man, the Hives are the best live band of all time.
When did you? That must have been a long time ago.
Dude, I have Chris Dangerous's drumstick.
I didn't know that.
I can grab it right now if you want.
I believe you. I just don't remember that for some reason.
Yeah, dude.
Aren't you guys friends?
We're not that close.
I thought so. I
Ah.
thought you knew I had Chris Dangerous's drumstick.
Damn.
Dude, I thought that was the whole thing
Yeah.
with you guys, the drumstick.
Yeah. I honestly thought that's how your friendship started, was on the drumstick.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
weird.
I'm in the CIA. This is all a big elaborate scheme.
Where were you when Johnny had his the drumstick from Chris Dangerous?
I thought you were going to
Sorry.
say, where were you when JFK was killed? I'm
No,
like,
I thought you were going to say,
no.
where were you when 9/11 happened?
All right. Well,
Sorry.
we weren't doing this. That's for sure. I'm
we're
totally.
filming a podcast on that.
Yeah.
I'll just get the drumstick.
Yeah, I don't believe him at this point.
Yeah, he's getting up though. We can't be too sure. Oh, he also knocked something else over.
You dropped your Todd Hundley card. Nice.
Nice.
That's it.
Hell yeah.
It's true. He
That's
does
cool.
have
You
the
dropped
drumstick.
you dropped a baseball card on the stairs, just so you know.
That's all right. It wasn't baseball.
Ooh, the
Anyway.
Icelanders.
All right, guys. The next question I have for you is favorite TV show, favorite movie.
Oh, cool. Oh man, I just been watching a lot of Jersey Shore. That's not my answer for favorite TV show, but that's what I'm gonna say, because it's just looming large in my life right now. I know that it's 20 something years late or something like that, maybe 15. But hey, check out these Macaroni Rascals. I love it. It's a fun time. And favorite
Wait.
movie, huh?
Fuck.
We could say that we're from New York, we're from Long Island.
Oh, that's what the show is called overseas.
That's awesome.
I wish I could take credit for that. But it's a good time. They're out there.
I've never heard that
you know.
shit. That is amazing. I love that.
And this is my answer all the time this whole year. But favorite movie, Purple Rain. I only saw it this year. Go see it if you haven't seen it. It's not new, but you know, if it's new to you, check it out. Jersey Shore, Purple. Top.
Favorite show, I think, as a band collectively, we can all probably say Sopranos.
Of course, yeah.
Favorite movie, Christmas Evil.
Oh, stealing all my stuff tonight. I love it. It's a good one.
Nice.
Check out
For
Christmas Evil.
my favorite show is a tie between Seinfeld and The Sopranos. And then my favorite movie is probably a tie between Goodfellas and Jaws.
Ooh, wow. All right. Got some good picks. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna forget what Jimmy said about the Jersey Shore. Now, I mean I'll never be able to say the Jersey Shore again.
Doesn't it sound so much more fun?
It sounds so much better. As a former New Jerseyan that used to live close to where said Jersey Shore took place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is crazy.
Said, okay. Yeah.
Well, I think it's
You grew
funny
up in
because
Jersey, or you went to school there?
I grew up in Jersey, yeah.
What area? I spent a lot of time in Jersey myself.
I lived in this really small town called Wrightstown, which is like by McGuire Air Force Base.
Okay.
Yeah, I was out in the boonies. And then
That's out there.
And then I lived in Burlington for a little bit, and then I lived in Bordentown before I moved to Pennsylvania. So kind of like central-ish, but
Yeah, okay. I spent more time in northern Jersey, but
Same.
it's a place unto itself.
yes, it is. Well, I think it's funny because all touring friends think that New Jersey is just like the beach or Jersey Shore or The Sopranos. Like it's one of those three options. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing else. There's no nuance. Or you're like New York
Yeah.
Junior.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get. If you're from like North Jersey, you pretty much are New York Junior. So it's cool. Well, fans, don't think that. If you come through, city of New Jersey, whatever. Don't do that. That's not cool. But either way, if you do, it's fine. I will just say
Bruce
some dumb shit
Springsteen.
about. What was that, Jimmy?
Bruce Springsteen's cool. Don't disrespect the boss.
You're right. Don't disrespect.
Shout out to the boss for sure.
Shout outs to the boss.
I fuck with the
He's
boss.
signing all our checks.
I fucked the boss.
Anyway, the next question I have for you guys is, if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one album you could bring with you to listen to, what album would it be?
Cocteau Twins, Heaven or Las Vegas. I know that that's like one of their that's kind of like a revival album for them. And there's probably cooler picks, but if I had to listen to one on a loop, that shit sends me to dream space in all the right ways. And I feel like I just want to hang out in dream space if I'm on a deserted island. Let's just vibe out.
Fair enough.
I'll go Beatles White Album.
Ooh. Fantastic choice.
Can't get tired of that one.
I'm just gonna go Pet Sounds.
Nice. There we go. All right, guys. Well, the last question I have for you is, thank you for spending the time. If you guys haven't gone to check out Gamblers yet, they're going to tell you in just a moment. But I wanted to know, guys, why you're so passionate about making music. As you know, as you guys have kind of grown over the years and, you know, reformulated the group and done a bunch of different things. You know, what kind of continues to, you know, give you passion to write and make music? Because music's difficult. It's blood, sweat, and tears. And, like, you know, a lot of people don't understand it. But I always feel like I get a lot more out of a group when I know why they love to do it, you know? So why is it important to you? Why do you guys continue to make music?
I mean, really, for me, it's like making music is like a state of being that you know, every time I sort of walk away from it, I'm itchy on some level. Maybe I could just journal and then that would be cool. But like, instead of journaling, it's kind of, I guess my answer is kind of like, you know, the meme of like boys will literally start like a band and dedicate their entire lives to it rather than going to therapy. I'm actually in therapy, but also music is on some level just like some weird ritual I have to keep doing. But I mean, like, life keeps happening, and this is the way we sort of log our experiences. I'm not even often a lyricist in our songwriting sessions, just more of like a music writer. But like, that's enough for me. It's just like, oh yeah, this time of my life, I'm feeling this, and it's coming out this way in music. And I don't know, it's just part of living for me at this point. Yeah, I don't know, staying alive, be feeling alive by just like expressing something.
I mean, I would say, like, I definitely felt like a really overwhelming pull towards music when I was a kid. And then what sort of sustains me now is, like, for me, selfishly, I guess, like, I really do just feel most at peace when I'm able to express myself creatively. And then if you're able to share that with other people, like, you know, sharing the music, of course, but also creating the music together with friends and collaborators. And then I would say too, like, I mean, first of all, I just really enjoy the process of making music. I like the puzzle of figuring out the melody and figuring out the chords and then figuring out, like, all right, now what do I want to say and what do I want it to mean? And I love that. Getting older and as life continues, like Jimmy was saying, it's a way to deal with things. It's a way to make sense of things. I always talk about music. Being a musician is not unlike, in my opinion, being some form of an athlete, or like, you know, for this last video we shot with professional wrestlers. And I feel a kinship because it's a very, it can be a lonely feeling endeavor in the sense that, you know, people think you're crazy a lot of times. Like a lot of times to be a musician, especially to the level of dedication where, you know, we're deep into our 30s and we're still pursuing this. You know, you have a lot of people along the way, some that are supportive, but some that are not supportive, and some that put ideas in your head about, no, you're crazy to try to do that, or, you know, you're going down the wrong path or something like that. And as you get older and as, you know, people take different career paths and, you know, people start developing families and then, you know, you might be second guessing your way because you're like, well, wait a minute, my life looks completely different because I've dedicated myself to professional wrestling, or, you know, playing minor league baseball, or playing in a band or something, or what, it doesn't matter, like whatever that pursuit that you have that pure connection to, that you're like, I'm never, you know, turning my back on this because I feel like it's my calling, or I feel like if I'm on this earth and I'm going to be on this earth, I have to keep digging this tunnel and seeing where it leads, because I'm compelled to do so. Like I personally feel like there's like our friends Moontooth, like we grew up together, you know. I feel like there's a great pride's not the right word, but there's a great, like, I feel
camaraderie, kind of.
For sure. I feel like honestly, like an honor. Like I feel like it's like an honor to be on a true path like that. And I think you honor yourself by being on that path and being true to it. So it means a lot to me. I mean, we fuck around, we have a good time, but like it means a lot to me.
Agreed. Johnny, closing us out.
Yeah, just goddamn, why we do music. The freedom of expression. Just like I think it's my only choice. It's the only way I know how to express myself. I don't know. That's all I got.
No,
It's the only way I know how to do it.
I feel that. I think for me, like, I think for me, it's like I can find a lot of similarities to why I started doing this. The week we're recording this on Saturday, this will be my 8th year doing YouTube, interviewing bands, you know, and like, to me, it's like, fuck, like I've been doing this 8 years of my life, you know, and like, I have people in my life that are like, why the fuck are you doing this still? And I have people in my life that say like, yeah, keep doing it. This is great. Like, you seem really passionate about it. You love doing it. And I won't just sit here and say that some of those people that gave me negative things don't, affect the psyche, because it does. It makes you think like, fuck, like, why am I doing this, right? But I think over, especially last year, for whatever reason, like, I thought to myself, like, I could just be doing, I could have something that I'm not passionate about and just live my life a 9 to 5, do my shit, and that's it, and not have anything else to like really put a lot of like heart and soul into, and how like miserable that might be. And I'm not saying everybody has to have a passion or whatever, right? But I just thought to myself how miserable it would be if I like just stopped doing it. And I mean, I don't know if I'll still be able to do it to the capacity I'll be able to do it in like 10 years from now, but I'd like to still be doing it 10 years from now. And I think that's like the important thing with like following your passions and doing what you want. That's why I continue to have bands on, is like, you're always going to find people that are really dedicated to doing this, because we're all in the same fucking boat going to the same destination, that we'd all love to be able to do art for, a good amount of pay to survive and live, So I love that you guys are continuing to do it. Obviously, positive affirmations to you guys going further. And I don't feel like I have to say too much about that, because the music speaks for itself, certainly. So tell them where they can find Gamblers at, what you guys have coming up in the next couple months, and anything else you'd like to plug about your band.
Thank you, man. Thank you for that sentiment. And this was a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you. I tried.
As far as, no, you're great. You're a natural. Almost like you've been doing it 8 years or something.
Almost.
Yeah, we have the single, which is the title track to the new record Pulverizer, which is out now. The album is out on March 29th. We're gonna drop another single in a couple of weeks ahead of that, and then we're playing some dates in March. We're playing at Brooklyn Monarch in Brooklyn, supporting the band Felicity. We're playing in Philadelphia, like we mentioned. What's the name of that place? Ortliebs? Ortliebs. Cool. We're playing there with our friends Atomic Life, which is did I say it wrong?
It's Ortliebs.
It's
Ortliebs. So I had it right the first time. Our buddy Billy Reimer, who you probably know from Dillinger, his new band Atomic Life. We're playing a couple shows with them, the 29th in Philly, the 30th, which is our release show at Heaven Can Wait in New York City. Also playing that is Atomic Life, a great new band from one of our longtime friends, Andrew Krolikowski, called I Love You, I'm Sorry. So definitely come out to that. That's our release show. We'll have the vinyl. It's going to be the first time that we're playing on stage with all the new music out. So we're really excited. We might be playing on Long Island on March 15th, but that's not yet confirmed. So I guess let me hold off on that. But yeah, and then more to come. We're going to be having some dates probably throughout April and May as well to be announced soon. And then hoping to hit some of these festivals coming up. And then, just staying active, keeping doing what we're doing. So appreciate the support.
There we go. Well, listen, if you have not listened to Gamblers yet, you can check all of the links in the description. Go show them some love. I've already followed them on Spotify, so I'm going to be so pumped when they release the next track. And they also mentioned vinyl, so, my brain went off, and now I'm going to have to cop a vinyl because I have to feed my love of vinyl addiction. So, we'll definitely be doing that. Huge shout outs to Big Picture again. Love them so much. Thank you for always giving me some great bands to have on, as per usual. If you enjoyed this interview, share, like, and subscribe. It goes a long way. And huge thanks to Gamblers for coming on and chatting with me tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Johnny's waiting for the thing to go.
Let's go.
Oh my God. I had to.